what's up, tribe? Thank you for being here and welcome to my channel. This will be a general reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and we'll be using a mix of the Enchanted Map Oracle cards with the Good Tarot, both by Colette, Baron-Reid, for this reading. Also, this reading is not time specific. Whenever you get the messages is when they're intended for. We start off with the Ride the Wave, and I love this card. I love this card. I have such a new appreciation for dolphins, and a new understanding of their importance and what they do. The dolphins, as I have read in this article, facilitate the weaving of energy matrix of crystalline consciousness over the planet, allowing humans who are vibrationally receptive and spiritually ready to embody deeper infusions of pure love throughout their cellular structure and experience a holographic deepening of telepathic communication. And with the candles in this messenger of fire, I would say these are downloads. Her crown chakra is lit up with inspiration, with creative ideas, which is what the fire element is all about. It's all about creativity, taking action, new passionate endeavors, and I'm gonna read the Ride the Wave card for you first. The dolphins also, they symbolize healing, soulmate connections. Soulmate connections don't have to be, aren't necessarily romantic connections, but they can be. And this for me is two coming together to match the energy and to lose themselves in the cosmic ocean. Okay, so Ride the Wave says, right now, success is easy and effortless. You can be assured that you're entering a time when you can ride the wave of abundance. The tide has turned, and you can put The tide has turned, and you can put your surfing skills to the test. Everything that you know, all your talents, coupled with your hopes and dreams, will carry you forward. People and circumstances have come out of the ocean of potential and possibility to take shape in a wave of spectacular activity. Know that you're definitely on the right path. And the messenger of fire coming up next talks about determination for a new adventure, innovation, independent, creative action, spirited, headstrong. She says, I have an unstoppable spirit and can co-create all that I can desire. Surrounded by spirit, illumined by the wisdom that rises up within me, I set forth on a path to innovate. I trust in my vision and act accordingly, remaining true to what I most value and desire, which can manifest in many forms. The slow and steady card coming up next. Guess what it talks about? The slow and steady card, slow and steady, wins the race. Yesterday I shared some of Matthias De Stefano's blog in a video titled Expectations. You'll find a playlist titled Reverberating Matthias De Stefano's Education, and I'd highly recommend you check that out. Or if you prefer reading, you can check out his blog, josoy.red, for a deeper understanding of the rhythm of the universe. The magic prayer is telling me that by listening, this is you listening to this card is now, I associate myself with this card because I figured I'm this fool blowing in the horn, reverberating. You see how the card has these like echoes, reverberations, and this card for me is me reverberating Matthias de Stefano's education, and his education is all about taking it back in to reflect by the sacred pool. And let me tell you what the sacred pool is about. The sacred pool, my dear friend, is about... Right, so the sacred pool is... The world is a reflection of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Embody the love you wish to see in the world. When you look into the mirror, do you like what you see? The sacred pool card asks that you focus on self-love and self-esteem. We are all works in progress, so a detached self-examination made with rigorous honesty is called for now. Reflect by the sacred pool and be at peace with yourself. Can you see how far you've come and how magical your life is? Do you notice the spark of the divine shining through your eyes? When you're conscious that you are the embodiment of spirit, it becomes easier to respect yourself and act in good conscience. Then you'll reap the greatest rewards. Your unique service to the world is not only needed but celebrated. See the love within you and know that if you cast it upon the waters, it will return to you tenfold. Be at peace, for you are beautiful and loved. Act with surety and confidence, and success shall be yours, whatever your inquiry. And yesterday we did a heart meditation, and he had us reflect on all the relationships we have in our life, and to realize and to recognize just how conditional our love is. And the truth is, the kind of love we extend to them is the kind of love we have within for ourselves. So when you view it like that, when you check yourself before you wreck yourself, when you check yourself and see it for what it is, I didn't know any better. Yes, my love, the reason I fell out with this person is I had the condition of them approving of all my behaviors and all my aspects, for me to extend my love to them. And when I no longer depend on the outside world to accept and approve of me, and when I no longer depend on the outside world's approval and acceptance of me, and I recognize and I accept all aspects of me as holy and good, only then do all the wheels of my chakras, energy centers, only then do all of them start spinning in harmony, and my golden palace, which is my being, my construct, starts shining like a golden palace. This is, for me, the golden palace card is the kingdom of heaven, which is within. This is the temple within. This is your connection to your higher self. This is also building your house on the rock, like Jesus was talking about. and you don't have to be religious to understand this. He was saying, everyone then who hears these words of mine meaning his teachings, his education of presence, and does them. So he says, everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell, and the flood came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall, because it had been founded on a rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. So that's what we're trying to do with the meditations, is to, I think Abraham Hicks calls it pre-paving, or getting into the vortex. This is when you're so connected. This is when you are centered in your axis. This is when all your attention can be easily taken back to your inner world. And then you know that everything outside is just a play of form. So it need not take you away from your presence. It need not disturb your peace, because that peace is constant. It's just in the background, and you can always take your attention back there to harmonize, to balance out, to integrate all those emotions. For me, the floods and the winds and everything that he was talking about, that's all the emotions that you get from all that's going around you. Matthias de Stefano was likening ourselves, this palace, our body, our vessel, to a guitar, in which the heart is the tuner, the emotions are the chords, and the heart is how we hear these emotions, how we interpret these emotions. It's what resounds. It's what collaborates, right? These tunes. So when we fine-tune the chakras, when we fine-tune our instrument, our golden palace, our being, our physical body, we then can neutralize, we then can accept all those different emotions as parts of love. They are all different aspects of love. And we can only see that clearly when we take our attention back to the source of all of this, back to the tick-tock, bang-bang of our heart, the one rhythm that sets all of this in motion. So what you're doing when you're reflecting by this sacred pool is to realize that your golden palace, or in Matthias de Stefano's example yesterday in the meditation we did, the heart meditation, which was to balance what we give and receive and what we think and do. I think the affirmation, if you want to call it that, was I am life in balance. So he was saying that to understand why we feel and how we feel what we feel, we must imagine that we're a guitar and that the hole in the guitar is our heart, and that all the emotions are the vibrations that represent the chords that cross our body. And to imagine that the chakras are the keys that fix the chords in order to sound properly. Everything that we feel, everything that resounds with us is according to how we are vibrating within, in this temple, right inside here. So what we have to do to feel the proper emotions from the outside world is we have to try to adjust, fine-tune the chakras. And we can't blame or thank others for what we feel, because we recognize that everything that we feel from others is how we have tuned our emotions in this instrument that is our guitar. So, in the Ride the Wave, you are preparing, getting spiritually ready and vibrationally receptive to ride that wave that we talked about, and to be a channel for the divine spark of creativity, especially with the spark here and all these creative flames on her head. I'd like to read the spark card for you as well. Let's do that. The sparkus. It says, you are a clear channel for divine creativity. There's a spark of creativity in you, and you have every reason to move forward with optimism and hope. Open yourself to inspiration and allow life to show you its beauty and your part in co-creating it. This is the perfect time to give birth to an idea, start a new relationship or a job, or begin any endeavor. Attraction is high as you connect with others who can co-create joyous experiences and join with you in expressing the finer aspects of life. Watching a spark turn to a flame and stalking that fire is a gratifying activity. Oh, I love how all of this is just sinking in perfectly. These are the flames. This is the co-creative experience. Dolphins pair up to match energy and lose themselves in the ocean mother, lose themselves in oneness. They also sometimes match up to learn harmony. They pair up with dolphins of different energy level, I like to call it, to learn harmony. So when we learn harmony, then we can pair up with those who just come to match our energy, match our frequency, and then we could just be playful and joyous and happy. I will leave a link to that heart chakra meditation in the comments, but I do recommend you start with the beginning. I know I am like a broken record about him, but there is nobody else online or that I know of. There's nobody else that is offering this amount of information, the know-how of how to tune your chakras. So what he does is that he takes you through all the chakras and then takes you through the process of expression, experience, integration, and transcendence. So you sit there and you express your feelings, your emotions, and then you integrate them without judgment, without this is black, this is white, this is wrong, this is good. You integrate them in a place of universal acceptance for you to transcend them. This is absolutely for free. All you have to do is check out his channel, and he is being so generous in sharing all of himself with us. His blog tells you everything about him, his whole experience, his whole life, all aspects of him, and for you to learn from. So please do check out his channel and subscribe to it if you find it to be beneficial. That's all I have for you, Cancer. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up for me. Share, subscribe if you'd like to be part of the channel. And until next time, I'm sending you much, much love. And bye for now.